Welcome to the Real Credit Talk Show, audio edition. I'm your host, Tiana Mayers, also known as Lady T. Founder of Beyond Credit Limits Corporation. And this is where we break down how credit actually works. Not from opinion, not from guesswork, but from how the system is designed to read you. This is a Beyond Credit Limits production. If you want to understand how your situation connects to what we talk about here, you can visit www.beyondcreditlimits.com. And if you've been tapped into the brand, you already know what it is at thatmerchmood.com. This is a space where we stop repeating credit myths, stop chasing surface level advice, and start breaking down how the system actually works. Not the watered down version, not the social media version, not the version people throw around without context. The real version, the structured version, the version that helps you understand what is actually happening when your name, your information, your accounts, your behavior, and your decisions all come together inside a credit profile. So wherever you're listening from, I want you to settle in, because this conversation is not just about credit. It's about how your profile is being read before you ever get an answer. Now let's go. Tonight is not about your credit. Let me say that again. Tonight is not about your credit. Tonight is about the files you have never seen. TransUnion, Equifax, Experian. You know those names. You have probably pulled those reports. But there is a second layer beneath them. A network of companies collecting data about you that has nothing to do with credit cards or loans, and everything to do with whether you can open a bank account, get approved for insurance, rent an apartment, or pass a background check. Companies you have never heard of, files you have never requested, scores you didn't even know existed. And the last episode, we talked about identity theft. We talked about freezing your file at the big three: Experian, TransUnion, Equifax. That is not the whole house. That is one door. Tonight, we walk through every other door in the house and show you how to lock every single one. Let's go. Welcome to episode 11 of the Real Credit Talk Show. I'm Tiana Mayers, Lady T. Last episode, we talked about identity theft, and we talked about one of the strongest protections available, the security freeze at Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. That advice was correct, and it is still not complete, because there is an entire ecosystem of companies operating alongside the big three bureaus that most consumers have never heard of, and most attorneys and financial advisors, and yes, even some people in the credit industry rarely talk about it. These companies are called specialty consumer reporting agencies. Some other people call it secondary credit bureaus. They are not optional background noise. They make real decisions about your life. LexisNexis. That company can affect your auto insurance premium and your identity verification at major institutions. ChexSystems can block you from opening a checking account at almost every major bank in the country for up to 5 years over a single incident. SageStream, now absorbed into LexisNexis Risk Solutions, builds alternative credit files used by certain lenders, specifically for people the big three bureaus do not score well or do not score at all. Teletrack tracks subprime and short-term lending activity that traditional bureaus often never see. Tonight, we go through every one of these and what they actually do, how to find out if they have a file on you, and how to freeze and protect every single one, not just the three everyone already knows about. We'll be right back.
Most people think credit is just a score. It's not. Your credit can affect where you live, what you drive, your interest rates, approvals, deposits, business funding, and even the opportunities available to you. At Beyond Credit Limits, we help consumers understand how the system actually works. This isn't about gimmicks. This is about structure, strategy, education, and financial positioning. Whether you're trying to rebuild, organize your financial profile, understand collections, prepare for home ownership, or create a stronger financial foundation, Beyond Credit Limits was built to help you move with intention. The consultation is where everything starts. We will review your situation, identify what's happening inside your credit profile, and map out the next steps based on your goals. Stop guessing, stop moving blind, and stop letting misinformation cost you financially. Visit www.beyondcreditlimits.com and fill out your consultation today. Again, that's www.beyondcreditlimits.com. Beyond Credit Limits, because financial freedom starts with understanding the system.
And we're back. Let's get into it. Under the Fair Credit Reporting Act, FCRA, a consumer reporting agency is any company that regularly assembles consumer information for the purpose of providing it to third parties who use it to make decisions about that consumer. Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion fall under that definition. So do dozens of other companies most people have never heard the names of. These are called specialty consumer reporting agencies. Each one collects a different type of data for a different type of decision. Banking history, insurance claims, rental history, employment screening, medical claims, check writing history, subprime lending activity. The data lives in a completely separate system from your credit file at the Big Three. A lender pulling your Experian report sees nothing about your ChexSystems history. An insurance company pulling your LexisNexis file sees nothing about your TransUnion credit history. These systems do not talk to each other, which means a person can have a strong credit profile at all three major bureaus and simultaneously have a damaging file sitting at a specialty bureau that is actively blocking them from something they need. And because so few people know these files exist, most people never think to check them, dispute them, or freeze them until they run into a wall they cannot explain. LexisNexis Risk Solutions is one of the largest and least understood data companies in the country. Most people associate the LexisNexis name with legal research. That is a different division of the same parent company. The Risk Solutions division operates separately and deals specifically with identity verification, insurance underwriting data, and risk scoring. Here is what LexisNexis actually does. It maintains identity verification files used by banks, insurance companies, government agencies, and other institutions to confirm that you are who you say you are when you apply for something. It compiles public records, court records, property records, liens, judgments into a profile that gets pulled during background checks and certain financial applications. And critically, it absorbs SageStream. SageStream was an alternative credit bureau that built credit files using non-traditional data, rental payments, utility payments, subprime lending records, and other information that the big three either do not collect or do not weigh heavily. When LexisNexis Risk Solutions acquired SageStream, that alternative data network became part of a broader LexisNexis risk profile used by an expanding number of lenders, particularly in auto finance and certain subprime lending spaces, who want a fuller picture than traditional bureaus alone provide. This matters enormously for two groups of people. People with thin files at the big three may have a much more developed file at LexisNexis, for better or worse, because of the alternative data being captured. And people who have experienced identity theft can have fraudulent information sitting in their LexisNexis file, completely independent of whatever it is or is not on their Equifax, Experian, or TransUnion credit report. A consumer can request their LexisNexis file directly. It is free under federal law, the same way the big three reports are free. Almost nobody requests it though, and it is exactly the problem. ChexSystems is a specialty consumer reporting agency that tracks banking behavior, specifically negative banking behavior, overdrafts that were never repaid, accounts closed by the bank due to suspected fraud, unpaid fees, forced account closures. When a bank closes your account for one of these reasons, it can report that closure to ChexSystems. And here is what most people do not know. The vast majority of major banks and credit unions check ChexSystems before opening a new account. If your name comes back with a ChexSystems record, the bank can deny you a checking account, not a loan, not a credit card, a basic checking account. This information typically stays on your ChexSystems report for 5 years. 5 years of being unable to open an account at most major financial institutions because of one negative banking event. Sometimes something as small as one-time overdraft that was never resolved. This has nothing to do with your credit score. Someone can have excellent credit at all three bureaus and still be denied a checking account everywhere they go because of a ChexSystems flag they did not know existed. You have the right to a free ChexSystems report once a year, the same as the big three. And if there is an inaccurate entry, you have the right to dispute it, the same way you would dispute an error on a traditional credit report. If you have ever been denied a basic bank account for reasons that did not make sense, ChexSystems is very likely where the answer is sitting. When you apply for home ownership or auto insurance, the company underwriting your policy is not just looking at a credit-based insurance score. They're often pulling your claims history from a database called A+, the Automated Property Loss Underwriting System, maintained by a division of Verisk, analytics. A-Plus tracks insurance claims you have filed, home, auto, and in some cases, other property, going back several years, regardless of which insurance company you filed them with. This means switching insurance companies does not give you a clean slate. Your claim history follows you through this shared database. A pattern of frequent claims, even small ones, can result in higher premiums or outright denial of coverage from a new insurer because they can see your full claims history across every company you have ever worked with. There is a related but separate database for auto insurance specifically, often referred to broadly as a claims history report, which tracks driving-related claims the same way A-Plus tracks property claims. Consumers have the right to request their own A-Plus report and dispute inaccurate information on it, the same way they would any other consumer report. Most people have never requested this report in their life, and most people being denied affordable insurance have no idea this is part of why. Teletrack is a specialty consumer reporting agency that focuses on subprime and short-term lending activity. Payday loans, title loans, rent-to-own agreements, and certain other short-term credit products. Many of these lenders do not report to the big three bureaus at all. Instead, they report to Teletrack and similar networks that specialize in tracking these type of borrowing. This creates a strange and important reality. Someone can have a thin file or even non-existent file at Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion while having an extensive and possibly damaged history inside the Teletrack network, built entirely from short-term lending activity that never touched a traditional credit bureau. And when that person later applies for a payday loan or similar short-term credit product from a different lender, the new lender may pull Teletrack and see a pattern the person assumed nobody could see because they assumed, incorrectly, that these loans existed outside the credit reporting world entirely. They do not exist outside it. They exist in a different room of it. Most people never knew was being recorded at all. In our last episode, we talked about identity theft protection and the security freeze at Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian was the centerpiece of that protection. That freeze stops a fraudster from opening a new credit card, auto loan, or mortgage in your name by blocking access to your traditional credit file. But it does not do anything to stop someone from opening a bank account using your identity, because that decision often runs through ChexSystems, not the big three. Filing a false insurance claim in your name, because that runs through A-Plus and the insurance industry shared claim networks. Taking out a payday loan or short-term credit product using your identity, because many of those lenders check Teletrack, not TransUnion, Experian, or Equifax. Passing identity verification at an institution that relies on LexisNexis, because that system operates independently of your traditional credit freeze. A freeze at the big three is a strong, necessary setup, but a traditional credit freeze only protects traditional credit files. Specialty reporting agencies operate independently, which means protecting your identity requires more than securing the big three. It requires understanding every system that may be making decisions about you. That's the difference between basic protection and complete protection. True protection means identifying every specialty bureau that might have a file on you and freezing or restricting access at each one individually, because none of these systems automatically extend protection to the others. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, CFPB, maintains a public list of specialty consumer reporting agencies and what type of data each one collects. That list is a starting point, but it is long and not every agency on it will have a file specifically on you. The most direct path is to request your file from the agencies most relevant to your situation. If you have ever had a bank account closed or been denied a new one unexpectedly, request your ChexSystems report directly. If you have ever filed an insurance claim or been denied affordable coverage unexpectedly, request your A+ reporting through Verisk, Verisk. If you have ever used a payday loan, title loan, or rent-to-own service, request your file from Teletrack. And request your LexisNexis Risk Solutions file regardless, because its reach is broad enough that it is worth checking even without a specific trigger event. Each of these requests is free under federal law, the same right that applies to your big three credit reports. Most consumers have simply never exercised it because nobody ever told them it existed. Once you know which specialty bureau have a file on you, the next step is protecting them, the same way you would freeze a traditional credit report. ChexSystems offers a security freeze that works similarly to the big three bureau freeze. It restricts new account openings that rely on a ChexSystems check until the freeze is lifted. LexisNexis Risk Solution also offers a security freeze on the consumer file it maintains. This is a separate freeze from anything placed at the big three and must be requested directly with LexisNexis. Some specialty agencies offer opt-out provisions rather than a formal freeze, limiting how your data can be shared or used for certain types of decisions. The protection mechanism varies by agency, which is exactly why checking the specific terms for each one you have a file with matters. This is not a one-time task. It is a layer of protection that should be reviewed periodically, particularly after any data breach notification, any unexplained denial, or any moment where something about your financial access does not add up. Complete protection means thinking about your identity as something that lives in multiple systems, not just the three everyone already knows the names of. Before we get into tonight's questions, if this episode made you realize there might be a file out there on a system you have never heard of, that is exactly the kind of situation a consultation is built to help untangle. Visit www.beyondcreditlimits.com and fill out the consultation form. And if you have a question for the show, submit it to the Real Credit Talk Show at beyondcreditlimits.com. Your first name and state, or anonymous, your choice. I read everyone. Tonight's questions go a layer deep than usual. So let's get into them. Patrice from Maryland. I froze my Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion files 2 years ago after a breach. I just got denied a checking account at a new bank, and they said it was a ChexSystems issue from an account I closed myself 5 years ago. I never overdrew it. I just stopped using it. Why would that even be on there? Patrice, this is exactly the kind of situation that exposes the gap between what people assume protects them and what actually does. Closing an account yourself is not supposed to generate a negative ChexSystems entry on its own. What likely happened is one of two things. Either there was a small balance or fee on the account at the time it was closed that you were not aware of, sometimes a maintenance fee that posted after you considered the account closed in your mind, and the bank reported that unpaid balance as a negative closure. Or the bank's internal system flagged the closure itself under a category that reads as voluntary. But ChexSystems received it under reporting language that does not distinguish clearly between a clean voluntary closure and a problematic one. Here's what I want you to actually do. Request the full ChexSystems report and read the exact reporting code on that entry, not just the bank's verbal explanation to you at the counter. The code will tell you specifically what was reported, which tells you specifically what needs to be disputed and with which party, the bank or ChexSystem itself. This is not a situation to guess your way through. The exact wording on that report changes the entire strategy. Wendell from Colorado. My insurance company denied my renewal and said it was based on a claims report. I switched insurance companies 4 years ago specifically because my old company kept raising my rates. Can a new company really see what I filed with a company with a completely different insurer years ago? Wendell, yes. And I want you to really sit with what that means, because most people do not realize how connected this industry is. The A+ database does not belong to any single insurance company. It is a shared system. Nearly every major insurer in the country contributes claims data to it and pulls from it. So when you left your previous company specifically because of how they were treating your rates, you did not leave your claims history behind. It moved with you, sitting in a shared file that any new insurer can see. Now here is the deeper question worth asking. Were the claims that triggered this denial legitimate, necessary claims? Or were some of them smaller incidents you might not have needed to file at all if you had paid out of pocket instead? Because that is the real lesson in your situation. Every claim filed, big or small, becomes part of a permanent shared record that follows you industry-wide, not company by company. Going forward, that calculation matters. Not every loss needs to become a claim. Sometimes the smarter, long-term move is absorbing a small cost privately to protect the shared record everyone in the industry can see. Anonymous, Ohio. Anonymous, from Ohio. I have never used a payday loan in my life, but a finance company just denied me and mentioned a name I had never heard of before. Something with Teletrack in it. How do I have a file there at all? This is one of the more unsettling situations. because it suggests one of two very different explanations, and you need to figure out which one applies before you do anything else. The first possibility is identity theft. Someone may have used your information to take out a short-term loan, specifically because those lenders often have lighter verification than traditional banks, making them an easier target. If that is what happened, this connects directly to what we covered in our identity theft episode 10, and the same fraud documentation process applies here too. The second possibility is less obvious. Some retail financing arrangements, certain furniture, electronics, or rent-to-own agreements report into networks like Teletrack without always making that reporting relationship obvious in the paperwork you signed. If you have ever financed something through a smaller realtor with in-house or third-party financing, that could be the source. Not fraud at all. Just a reporting relationship you were never told about clearly. Before assuming either one, request the actual Teletrack file and read every entry on it. The entries themselves will tell you which explanation is true, and those two explanations require completely different next steps, which is exactly why guessing here would be the wrong move. Simone from South Carolina. I requested my LexisNexis report, hearing about it somewhere, and it had an old address from an ex who I never lived with. I just received mail there once. Does that mean my identity got mixed up with his somehow? Simone, this is a great example of something that looks like identity theft, but it is actually a different and more common issue. What it is sometimes called is an associated record, rather than a mixed file in the fraud sense. LexisNexis builds identity files in part from public records and data furnished by companies you have interacted with. Something as small as receiving one piece of mail at an address or being listed as a contact on a utility application or appearing together on certain public records can cause that address or even that person to become associated with your file in a way that is not fraud, but is not accurate either. The real question I want you to ask yourself is this: has anything ever been opened, applied for, or verified using that address as your current address? If the answer is no, this is very likely a data association issue. Annoying, worth correcting, but not a sign of active fraud. If the answer is yes, if something was opened or verified using that address, that changes the conversation completely. And we would need to look at this the same way we would look at any other identity concern. Either way, you have the right to dispute that address directly with LexisNexis and request it be removed from your file. Submit your question to the Real Credit Talk Show at beyondcreditlimits.com. Your name and state, or anonymous, your choice. And if any of tonight's episode left you with a file you need looked at, visit www.beyondcreditlimits.com and fill out the consultation form. We started this episode by saying the big three credit bureaus are one door in a much larger house. By now, you know the names of the other doors: LexisNexis, watching identity and risk; ChexSystems, watching your banking behavior; A+, watching your insurance claims; Teletrack, watching subprime and short-term credit. Each one with its own file. its own rules, its own power to say no to something you need, completely independent of what your traditional credit score says. Freezing the big three was never wrong. It was just never the whole house. Now you know where the other doors are, and now you know how to lock them too. If there is one thing I want you to take from episode 11, it is this. Your identity is not stored in one place. It is scattered across systems most people never learned the names of until something goes wrong. Real protection means going to find those systems before they find a reason to deny you of something. Request the files. Read what is actually written in them. Freeze what can be frozen. Dispute what does not belong. Not because something is currently wrong, because you finally know enough to check. If tonight's episode left you wondering what might be sitting in your file you never knew existed, Beyond Credit Limits can help you find out and help you address it. Our credit report analysis goes beyond the big three. We help you understand the full landscape of reporting agencies that may have a file specific to your situation. Our strategic dispute processing applies the same structured compliance-based approach to specialty bureau disputes as it does to traditional credit bureau disputes, because an accurate entry at ChexSystems or LexisNexis deserves the same level of attention as one at Experian. And if identity theft is part of what surfaced for you tonight, our identity theft resolution service extends to these specialty systems too, not just the big three. Everything starts with the credit review consultation, 1 hour. A standalone professional assessment where we look at your full picture, not just the part of it everyone already knows to check. Visit www.beyondcreditlimits.com and fill out the consultation form. Beyond Credit Limits, because financial freedom starts with understanding the whole system, every room of it. Before I close, I want to leave you with this. No question is insignificant. Your questions matter because you matter. And for everyone listening who just realized there might be a file out there with your name on it that you have never once looked at, go look at it. Not out of fear, out of ownership. Your identity belongs to you in every room it lives in. Submit your questions to the Real Credit Talk Show at beyondcreditlimits.com. Your first name and state or anonymous, I read every one. And your question may be answered right here. Ask the question, find every file, protect every door, and move with the kind of intention that only comes from knowing exactly how many places your name actually lives. This has been the Real Credit Talk Show, hosted by me, Tiana Mayers, Lady T, founder of Beyond Credit Limits Corporation. Visit us at www.beyondcreditlimits.com. And if you know the brand, you already know www.thatmerchmood.com. Until next time, keep learning, keep positioning, and keep moving with intention. Have a good night.